And finally this evening, the South African rand strengthened slightly on Wednesday, trading at 18.66 against the US dollar, up 0.1% from its previous close. This comes as US Federal Reserve is expected to maintain interest rates after its two-day meeting. Furthermore, President Trump has called for lower rates, asserting his understanding of monetary policy. Additionally, attention will soon shift to the South African Reserve Bank's rate decision on Thursday. Meanwhile, the top 40 index rose by 0.4%. Stock market analyst Mashima Gama shares today's market update.
So this morning we saw the rand strengthen from 1886 to 1866, and this is ahead of an interest rate decision that's going to be made by the US Federal Reserve. No decision has been made yet, but the Fed will be completing their two-day meeting sometime today, US time. Speculation is the Fed will keep rates steady, which is contrary to what the US president wants. Donald Trump wants those rates lowered. Now, the thing about lowering interest rates, particularly in the US, is that their interest bearing financial assets then become less attractive. So let me put it this way: when interest rates are high, interest bearing assets such as bonds become more attractive because the returns are high or the yields are high. When interest rates are cut or reduced, it then means that your return on investment for that asset is then reduced. If the Fed then cuts interest rates, the dollar is likely to weaken because the demand for the dollar in order to purchase these bonds will then be lessened. And a weakening dollar then means that the rand will strengthen. It will also then translate to commodity prices going up. A stronger rand, as I've mentioned before, is beneficial to us South African consumers because it then cuts the cost of imports and also cuts the cost of fuel. The second part to this is that if the interest bearing, if the demand for interest bearing assets is then reduced, investors have to either going to take their money, or if the returns are reduced, investors are going to take their money out of that market and they have to place it somewhere. And it's usually either in commodities or equities, which is the reason why we're seeing our equity market and the international market surge as it is today. And we're likely to see more upside in our South African market if our Reserve Bank cuts interest rates further tomorrow. Speculation is we're expecting about a 25 basis points, which is a quarter percentage or 0.25%. Now, of course, this will then place the repo rate at 7.5%. And of course, we are going to welcome an interest rate cut because it then gives us better purchasing power, or rather increases our or better disposable income.